Two dogs are hot for each other despite social status.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with
Michelle,
Andre,
Louise,
and me, Emily. We're a family-friendly podcast where we pick a new Disney movie each week. We watch it, share our thoughts, and then relate it to pop culture, fandoms, and anything else that pops into our heads. Enjoy!
hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 67. What's that? What's that, girl? It's time to begin the podcast.
Can you hear those baby grunts?
That's a new podcast, baby.
little baby squeaks.
It's the sound of
Call 'em
sounds of new
squeaks.
podcast, baby.
This week, we are reviewing The Lady and The Tramp.
We forgot what we were doing.
That's
Everyone
right.
looks at each other like,
1955's animated Disney film Lady
1955.
and The Tramp. 1955.
It was pretty good for
came
55.
out the
Yeah.
year that Disneyland opened.
Correct. It
Oh
came out
my God.
right before Disneyland opened.
This is the night. It's a beautiful night.
At least we're singing the right song this time. What song did we sing last time?
I think I was singing, that's the moon hits so I like the big pizza pie.
That's
so
amore.
That was the wrong song.
That song is not in this movie.
Yeah, you're correct. All right. So Lady and the Tramp
it about
is
pizza?
what we are talking about.
Yum.
Luis, what is your first impression of this dog movie?
I liked it a
Dog
lot. I'm
movie.
like, at first I was like, I never really bought into that whole idea of, just by chance, swallowing spaghetti and then having to kiss her. I never bought into that romantic hubdub. But
Swallowing.
anyways,
Hubdub.
I don't buy it.
I like the movie a lot.
That's where you were getting with that.
Romantic hubdub.
First, he didn't buy the romantic hubdub.
All
But he
right.
liked
But he
it.
liked
Very
it.
nice, very nice.
Was this the first time you watched this movie, Luis?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. My first impression is, honestly, I thought I had watched this movie as a kid, but now that I watched it, I'm not so sure because I didn't
Same.
remember any of it. It's good. It's a good movie. But
It's
I
a good
thought,
movie.
I literally thought the whole movie was supposed to be a romance, between the two dogs.
Same.
And, that's not what this movie's about. But good
Good straight
movie.
up Sarah
I mean,
McLachlan.
it's in there, but yeah, there's some
Oh, I know.
there's some
Oh,
definite
gosh,
cry
you're right.
commercials
As soon as
in
you
this
texted
movie.
me that when I watched it, I was like, I understand now. Yeah, so it's a good movie. It's just not what I expected. Andre, first impression.
I, like you, thought that I had seen this movie, and I definitely have never seen it.
I know, we both
Ever
looked at
in
each
my
other
life.
like,
Yep.
no, we never seen this, no.
Like I was like, the movie started and it has like the opening credits, right? And so I was like, oh, okay, Bella Notte, I know this song, I know this movie, I've seen this movie. And then the movie starts and stuff is happening. I was like, oh, I don't remember this. And like 30 minutes later, I don't remember any of this. And like 45 minutes later, like I don't remember the entire movie except for that spaghetti scene.
Yeah, because you know why? It's because we probably just always seen that spaghetti scene and that song, but we didn't ever see the movie.
Yeah. So that being said, I liked it.
Yeah, it's a good
Good
movie.
stuff.
Emily, first impression.
Same.
Same.
Pretty sure never saw it. I remembered the Siamese cats though. Like
Ah,
the
yes.
moment,
I didn't remember.
the moment that, and I don't know if it's because I've seen that scene because nothing else looked familiar.
Right.
Like not even a little bit familiar.
No.
But the Siamese cats, I knew that I hated them, and then lo and behold,
Yeah.
hated them.
I
They
remember
appeared.
the song, but I didn't remember that they were evil.
Creepy creeps.
Creep.
That's for sure. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I thought those cats were
So
kinda
this
racist.
movie. Oh,
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. They are. There's a lot of racist things happening in this movie. Quite honestly,
Oh, is there?
there is.
Some interesting
Juanita
stuff.
Chiquita Chihuahua.
Luis was all offended. It was hilarious.
I know we're laughing at that. We
Ask
shouldn't
me
be
why I
when.
pictured when she said that, I pictured my sister.
Whoa, you just got sisterist.
All right.
No, only because chihuahuas are like little small tortas.
Nobody's gonna understand what that
Little
means
small
to you.
tortas.
I'll explain it.
well,
A torta is a Mexican sandwich.
well, yes,
So you know.
technically. Okay.
Okay. Anyways,
Awkward,
this
Lou.
movie, as Andre said, opens with the Bella
Shmote song.
Bella Notte song, and it was cute because it had like a little dedication to dogs. It was like, this movie is dedicated to
All the dogs.
All the
All the
dogs.
real dogs
All
out
the
there.
all the
Puppers.
dogs. Who let the dogs out? Who. It didn't say that, but I thought that was cute. And then it was funny because we watched this movie with our dog, Douglas, on my lap, and he didn't look at the TV at all.
No,
The
he never
only time
does.
he perked up was when the dogs were in the jail singing, and
Yeah.
his ears kept going up like, ugh, like, shut up. But yeah, he was disinterested in the dog movie.
So he didn't see similarities between himself and
Definitely
these
not.
dogs.
No, I did.
He's very
but he
egocentric.
didn't.
He only pays attention to himself.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because this movie definitely had like the social tones that I was not aware of.
Yeah, definitely.
Like because everything was about status in this movie. Every single thing.
Yeah.
Like
social status.
yeah, so like cute little lady, which is the girl dog.
Little puppy.
Little puppy.
Little puppy.
At first she was just a cute puppy, but then once she like grew up like 6 months or so when she
Yeah.
got her collar for the first time, it was everything about getting that collar signified the fact that she was now owned, I guess,
Yeah.
by her humans,
She had a human.
and that she was like worthy, I guess.
Yes.
It was
her Mjolnir.
it
Oh
was
my God.
her Mjolnir.
Which makes sense because they're saying like, I mean, we kind of see this with Oliver and Company too. You know, you have a collar, you live in a home. You don't, you're on the streets. You're a street rat dog. So
Yeah.
there's the difference of
You're
the,
Aladdin.
You're Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Dog. There's differences in
That's
the
just
two
the way
worlds.
it
What I
is.
didn't remember
Gotta eat
is
to live, gotta
that
still to
the
eat.
Tramp. What's his actual name?
His
Tramp?
name is Tramp.
Tramp.
Oh man,
Butch?
The-
I don't know.
The Tramp.
The
he
Tramp.
is a cute dog.
Yes, he
man.
is.
He's a little scruffy dog. He
Little
reminds
mutt.
me of my dog a little bit.
Yeah, like
Because
a
he's scruffy,
longer leg.
like a scruffy terrier
Yeah.
type of thing.
Long.
Super
Long
cute.
Dougie.
Lady's cute too. She's a little cocker spaniel. What I thought was cute is Andre and I just went to the Walt Disney Family Museum, and there was this little part where it talked about how Walt Disney wanted to get his wife Lillian a dog, but she was like, "No, I don't like dogs. I don't want a dog." Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he, quote unquote, bought her a hat and put it in a box, but it was actually a chow dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so the scene reminded me of it where she's like, "Oh, a hat or something that she got for Christmas," and she opens it and it's a dog. So I don't know if he like threw that in
It
there
was.
on
It was
purpose.
reminiscent, yes.
Okay, because
Yes.
I was like, "Oh, I just read about this," so I thought that was cute.
However, there's more to the story. Well, there's more adjacent to the story. So apparently, Walt started saying that as like the inspiration for this movie, right? However, this movie was written by a different dude. Or actually, no, the movie wasn't written by a different dude. A story was produced by a different dude by the name of
Joe Grant
Joe Grant, who
had an English Springer Spaniel.
yes, it was basically like the whole shebang. He had the spaniel. When he had a baby, the spaniel was a little bit jealous, and he had to like make room for the spaniel and the baby in his life. Blah 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 blah. Lady and the Tramp, and so he had written that. They started production on the movie, then they halted production on it because it was World War II and war was messing up movies. So they halted production. Grant left the studio, and then a couple years later, they started the movie back up, and then they just didn't give Grant any of the credit whatsoever, just none at all.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Bye, bro. I know this movie's about your dog and all, but sucks to suck.
they had another guy
Whose dog's name was Lady?
Yes,
Like, it was his
dog's name
dog.
was
His
Lady.
movie.
Yes, his movie.
Yeah.
So-
Bye.
I found this out because I watched a documentary called Lady's Pedigree, the making of Lady and the Tramp, which is
If any of Andre's coworkers are watching this, he watched it at work.
I did not watch it at work. I watched
No.
it after work. I
They
watched
watched it
a
after
bunch
work.
of other different stuff at work.
Your wife needs to calm it
she
down.
needs to stop calling me out. Stop. You gonna get me fired?
I know
That's
you're
your
trying
money, homie. Stop
Cut
it.
out. Got the mic tech stuff.
I'll just cut this part out. No, I won't.
She's trying to get you
Trying
guys
to sabotage
destitute.
me. Yeah. So
You're a
anyway,
tramp.
this documentary is available on YouTube. You can go watch it right now. It's only like an hour long. But in that documentary, they're bringing this up because the documentary, I believe, was released on the 2005 re-release DVD
Of
of
this
Lady
movie?
and the Tramp, where they're like,
Interesting.
so Grant, we just want to really say
Apologize.
sorry. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
I can only imagine.
eventually he had come back to the studio and worked on some other films and stuff like that.
So he was probably
they
like,
reconciled.
when
But it was
we
it was after
re-release this
it was after Walt
business,
died that he reconciled with the company. Yeah, so
I'm only coming back when he dies.
Man,
Dang.
that's intense. Well, I recently just started watching Walt Disney, The Making of the Magic or something. There's a Netflix documentary about Walt Disney right now.
Uh-huh.
I only watched the first 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
The first 30 minutes, and we're going to rewatch it together, Andre and I. But Walt seemed like a very intense dude.
Oh
so
well, yeah.
I feel like
Well, the book that you let me borrow that I still
it's
literally
basically
have
that, yeah.
is
it's
yeah,
basically
I mean,
also the Walt Disney Family Museum.
yes. I mean, Walt. I mean, you have to be a certain type of person
Yeah.
to be able to run this type
Maybe.
of business,
Yeah.
and you have to be a hard-nosed reindeer.
They took it off Walt. He
Hard-nosed
took it
reindeer.
That sounded
I think we talked about it in the Saving Mr. Banks episode, but yeah, he was like a Steve Jobs kind of powerhouse of a CEO and executive.
I think he was nicer in that movie portrayed than I think he really was.
Right, yes.
I think Tom Hanks made him a little bit more
Yeah.
fantastic.
Tom Hanksy.
Yeah, he Tom Hanksed him.
Yeah.
But
Not that he wasn't nice, but he was definitely intense about all of his projects.
Was it a good documentary? We'll have to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it was
It's
good.
probably
On Lady
on
and
my
the Tramp.
TV right now because we have the Movies Anywhere app, and then it always has like
Oh,
yeah.
extra stuff, so it probably has
Probably
it
is
on
on there. Mhm.
Interesting. Well, very good.
So yeah, get a Grant.
Get a
Shout out to Grant,
Shout out to Grant for Lady and the Tramp.
uncredited.
there.
Oh.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Lady grows up. She's about 6 months old. She gets a collar. She is friends with two neighbor dogs in the neighborhood. One is Jacques. He's a Scotty dog. He is so cute, little Scotty dog.
You know what's really annoying? Can I pause you?
Yeah.
So you guys know this, but we watch all of our movies with the subtitles on, right?
Oh, yeah, we do.
And so I'm thinking in my head that it should be Jacques, right? Like
Mhm.
JACQUES, right? But we're watching like the original Disney version with the Disney subtitles, and it literally has it JOCK.
Yeah, that's how
What?
how it is on the credits.
And I'm like,
Jock.
Yeah, his
is
name's
it JOCK?
JOCK is Jock.
But shouldn't it be like the French Jacques? Even though he's a little
is
Scottish
he French?
dog?
She's not
On
French.
our
She's a
subtitles,
little.
babe, it was the French Jacques.
I don't think we had subtitles on actually.
We did.
Did we? I don't remember.
we did
I don't remember.
not.
I don't remember seeing his name. I was just looking up
Oh, well,
to look up
Emily,
what his name
I
was
assumed the same thing.
because I
Well,
forgot.
I just found that problematic, and then Louise was like, "He's not French, he's a Scottish dog." I'm like, "Well,
He's a Scottish
Well,
dog.
he is a Scotty dog, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, why is he Jock?
His name's Jock.
I don't know, but
Well,
there's
he
a
needs to be
hound
playing
dog.
basketball or something. Then. I don't know.
Yeah, most hound dogs in Disney movies are like the best dog out of all of them, and he
The leader.
leader. What was the hound dog's name?
It was a toughie.
No, it was.
No.
Was it Trusty? No, it was
Yeah.
something.
Uh,
It was something like that.
not Tony.
Not
No.
Tony.
Not Tramp. Trusty. Yes.
Trusty.
Trusty. He
And
has
his-
a broken nose.
Oh yeah, his poor nose. He can't smell
His
nothing.
schnoz.
I'm the leader.
So they're very cute, and they kind of look out for Lady, you know. And we go through multiple scenes where Lady's having fun and she's with her family and everything's nice and dandy until one day
Dun dun
her parents
Dun
dun
dun.
dun
conceive.
dun dun.
Dun, dun.
A baby.
This is not a dog.
Not a dog, but a
They
baby.
conceive a baby.
And this is where
They can
some
see-
things start getting a little more intense. There's some scenes in there even where I'm like, oh, come on, Disney. Like when she's, I don't remember what she's doing, but the dad like spanks Lady on the butt, like to the side. He's like, get out of here. And I was like, don't you do that to that dog. Like I don't like seeing things happening to dogs in movies.
Well, then you should never go to Luisa's parents' house because they beating up on Hachi like nobody's business.
Oh, yeah, see,
Poor
that's not
Hachi.
me. I can't do it. Or even in the opening scene where they put her in the other room, I'm like, oh, she doesn't get to sleep in the bed. Oh, no.
Okay, so that's not animal endangerment,
I know,
Michelle.
but Lisa's going to make fun of me because we just have different views on dogs. but it's fine.
At one point in the movie, the the two humans are sitting by the fire and they're like holding hands and they're just like, "Oh dear, I tell you, I sure just love this dog. I just love it the most." And then the other one is like, "Oh dear, I love this dog. I love him the most as well. Love, love, dog, dog, love, love, dog, dog."
They could never take a place in our heart, and then they had a baby.
Okay, first off, you guys can both just shut it right now because that's you two sitting in your house.
Oh yeah,
every
I wasn't.
Oh, every day.
I wasn't
we love our
criticizing.
son.
Oh no, you were kind of criticizing. You had the criticizing eyes on. Okay,
Oh, no.
you guys are
our
sitting.
dog sleeps in our bed. He's on our
Word.
couch. He's in our lap.
Yeah, if you don't
He's
follow them
spoiled.
personally on Instagram, you need to because every other story is of Douglas
It's all Dougie.
Douglas is
sitting
so cute.
all
No,
the
I'm not
time.
saying he's not cute, but
We call
that's
him our son because he is. I'm like, I don't have to go home to my son, and people are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, my dog."
no doubt
I have
it's gonna be
children,
that
you know?
until you have a kid, and then poor Douglas is gonna be like, Auntie M,
No.
Auntie M, come
Yeah,
save
probably.
me.
But you know what,
Yeah.
Dougie,
Thank you.
I feel like is going to be the same as Lady. When he sees the baby, he's going to be like, "I must protect
What's
the
I
this?
will,
baby."
What's
I
this?
will
Because
protect
he's
you
like
from
that
the
with
rat.
Adeline, your daughter. When
Yes.
he sees Adeline, he's like, "This is my child." Like, he's just very protective. So
Yeah.
I know that's how he'll be when we have a baby.
Truth.
Then it'll be the baby's best friend and not my best friend anymore.
Yeah,
You know.
She's
Yeah.
Dougie's gonna be like,
very
screw you, Mom.
preemptively jealous of
My
Already
non-existent
mad
baby.
about it.
dog's relationship
Yeah.
with a baby.
But I think that's cute, kind of. I like families that like have a dog first before they have a baby, because then the dog grows up with the baby, and then they usually are like best friends, you know. So I'm sure that's what will happen with Lady and this baby.
Yeah.
Lady, you mean Dougie and the baby?
No, Lady and the movie and this baby.
Oh well,
But you know.
well, yeah. Okay.
Both.
So anyways, then we're introduced to Tramp.
He's a tramp.
But I love him. That's later.
Okay, hold on. We just need to throw this out here. I thought that he was just called. First off, I thought he had a name. I didn't know his name was Tramp.
I didn't know his
th-
name was Tramp either.
I thought that they were like calling him a tramp because he was a non homed dog. Like he was
Non-homed.
I thought they were calling him a tramp because he's like a scoundrel.
Yeah,
like
because he was like a
he's
homeless
tramp.
dog.
He's like doesn't have a collar. He's not tied down.
I didn't realize
Didn't
they were
realize
calling
he was
him
I mean,
a.
yeah, that
getting in
too.
with the other lady dogs.
I didn't know he was calling him a tramp. Like I would
What
call
were the
Luis a
names
tramp.
But there was a lot of dogs.
He's
Trixie and some other dog.
Matilda.
And another one. When Lady's like,
Sexy.
"Who are these other?" He's like, "Oh,
He's like, "Hey,
I actually laughed out loud very hard at that point. Like,
When
who
she-
are these
when she
other
said,
dogs?
Who's Trixie? Oh snap, lady!
called him out.
She about to kill
But,
him.
And of course, you gotta have a name like Trixie. Like, no
Yeah.
offense to Trixies out there, but
Anyways,
Trixie and Tramp.
It was really
comes
funny
around,
too
what-
because he was
what
like, "You're a
he's
trick." He's
always-
like, "She's like, I'm a trick." By the way, who's Trixie?
who,
so good.
Oh, Tramp's always running from the like pound,
Yeah.
right? So he's running away from the pound, and then
The
he
law.
runs into Lady. He overhears them talking about a baby, and he basically just storms in there and is like, "Yeah, Lady, they gonna forget about you, put you on the streets.
You
when
ain't
a
gonna
baby
be
comes,
friends. You ain't
the
gonna have
baby
no
cries,
house.
and they're gonna be like, you get to go outside in the doghouse all alone and
Be by
broke my heart.
yourself.
Because
and
you know
just
that happened to him.
Not have a home anymore and just be sad all the time and just hanging out with
I was
girls named Trixie.
I was expecting to get some backstory on him, like to just see a little like 5-second montage of him getting
Right.
all of those
Beat or
things happening to
But
him.
it's just that's
Him in
it.
a
It's just
cold,
him
rainy
that
doghouse.
telling that story of
And you're like, wow, okay,
you're not
not
gonna be well after this.
Yeah. Which was, very
very
poor
telling
Tramp.
of your life, okay.
And she's
Like, oh,
basically
hey.
like, that's not going to happen.
Stop projecting, Tramp.
But it kind of happens to her at first, like, and then she sings a really creepy song about the baby.
Baby, why do they love you?
I don't know what it was.
I needs to know.
They
Well,
love
all
you
I know
a
is it
lot,
creeped me
baby.
Yeah.
That song.
I'm
Did it
going to
creep
just
you
go
out?
with Bella Notte was the biz.
Yeah.
And the rest of the music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you didn't like a.
Even the Tramp one. I feel like I would like go to like a really funky dive bar and they would be singing that.
Days Tramp.
In the documentary, the dogs that are howling in the pound, so they're played by this like super famous group from the time called the Mellow Men, and they're like this group of really cool hip singer dudes, and and then they showed footage of them like doing the dogs, and I was like, wow, they're very good at doing dog voices. Too good. Tone down the dog stuff, guys, just a little bit. This song is awful.
Which is actually pretty funny because if you think about it, in that scene, so Tramp is trying to show Lady the world. He really is Aladdin. He's trying to show her.
He is. He's like, we can
I
have
can
this.
show you the pound.
He's like, we can have this whole hillside, not just the backyard.
Yeah, trying to show her all the good stuff, and lo and behold, they get picked up by the Sultan's guard.
The guards. The
So
dog
Lady
pound dude.
ends up getting sent to the pound, and I mean the good thing is that because she's wearing her collar, which I thought she was going to lose at some point, and that was going to be the problem.
Yeah,
but
Right.
that's what I thought.
she
too.
didn't lose her collar, so I wasn't too worried for her.
Yeah.
Like she was going to be saved. But she gets there and she's introduced all these kind of like scary wayward dogs.
There's like a
And-
Russian one and an
A
English
philosopher one?
Yes.
No, is that the Russian one? The philosopher?
Yeah, the Russian is the philosopher.
Oh my God.
There's the bulldog that's like super British.
Mm.
And then there's the Chiquita Bonita Chihuahua.
The banana chihuahua.
I know, right? That's what I called him too, the Chiquita banana. But it's funny because so these dogs are howling their song, but then you realize that the reason they're howling is so that they can cover up the noise that the doxy is making,
Yes.
like because he's trying to tunnel out the wiener dog.
Right.
And so that was actually really
Like,
funny
it's
that they
funny.
were howling for
It was
that.
funny at the end, but it was not funny during it when all the other puppies in the pound
And they were
crying.
They were all
And
crying.
I was telling Andres, like, I don't like this. And then they took the other crazy dog away to be
Euthanized.
And I was like, I don't like this
That's
movie.
why I like in that exact moment. That's when I texted you and was like, "Well, this movie just got real Sarah McLachlan-y,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
real
I was
bad."
Like, I don't like this anymore.
I didn't know they euthanized his ass.
Dude, they like
They probably shot him.
they walk him to the back. It says keep out, and they close the door,
and they were like,
then
oh,
all
he's
the
taking
dogs
the
keep
long
crying.
walk where you don't come back.
Yeah.
What did you think was
He
happening,
ain't
Lou?
getting adopted.
Yeah, Louis was obviously getting euthanized. You know the dogs and pounds that don't get. Oh, well then would you? They're in the arms of the
Oh my
angels.
God. Anyways, that's where it got too intense for me. It got,
That's what the song
it
says.
got
Why
too
do you think
intense
it's so
for me at
awful?
that point, man. I couldn't do it anymore. But luckily, it's okay because they went to get some food from, Tony's.
Right. They
Which I thought that scene was a lot longer than it was.
they
It's,
proceed
like,
to go on
quick
an
and brief.
adventure. So Tramp has a
On a
relationship
date.
with all of the restaurant owners in the
Yeah,
area.
he's a smart dog.
And the restaurant owners like really like him because they
What
just
was
give
his
up
name?
their entire
Butch.
night.
Butch.
Butch, give
They
me
were
some
calling
bones.
him Butch? I thought they were calling him Pooch.
No,
Like
Butch.
Pooch.
Butch.
Butch, yeah, he had a different name when he went to every different.
Yeah, I thought they were
um,
calling him Pooch. Like
Oh.
Pooch.
Yeah,
Like a little Pooch.
but yeah,
Poochy dog.
the
Yes, I know what a pooch is.
the Italians they hook
They hook him up.
Tramp and Lady up.
Gave
Okay.
him a whole menu.
At first, the
Extra
sous chef or
meatballs.
whatever, he was just like, "Hey, I'll get you some bones, sure, why not?" And then the head chef was like, "Bones."
No, the best part was that he told them bring him some bones, and then he realized that he had a girlfriend with them,
Oh,
and then he's
that's
like,
right.
"You brought bones?"
I know. And he was like, the Pooch is settled down.
Yeah.
You
No,
rascal.
he asked him, what do you want? Oh, okay, that's good. Get him the spaghetti, extra sauce, extra meatballs.
Yeah.
And the
Extra
other
Extra
chef-
meatballs.
the other
Extra
chef's like,
sauce.
they don't talk. And he's like, he talking to me. So
That was very
Not
funny.
talking to you.
they were like the best part of the movie. I'm not going to lie. Like
Yeah.
that scene is great.
Because they're just doing the most for these little dogs, and it's so funny.
And it's super cute.
The best scene was when he gets that old gentleman in trouble with that cop because it's his.
Oh, at the
quote-unquote
zoo?
dog. That was
Yes.
hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The zoo and the beaver.
So
Yeah.
back it up. We didn't even say.
They were jumping
We're
around.
out
It's
of
okay.
order.
So we don't know why, but for some reason, ladies'
Aunt
parents.
Sarah hates
Should
her.
I call them parents? Her owners.
Yeah, sure. Her peeps.
Her
Go
peeps.
away.
Go
If they
away.
do not birth her, they are not parents.
Okay. Well, there you go. So
Yeah, they're
they-
going on like a weekend getaway after they just had the baby.
Yeah, which I mean, I can't be upset with them because now
Right.
that I'm a second-time parent, I'm about it.
Understandable.
First-time parent, though, like that's an issue.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, and then they just sang Crazy Aunt Sarah.
Yes,
in.
so here comes Crazy Aunt Sarah, and she brings the stupid Siamese cats. Anywho,
Yes.
long story
we'll
short,
talk about those later.
they get Lady in trouble, and
Yes.
Aunt Sarah then takes her to the
Get a
pet store to get a muzzle. And so she ends up getting kicked out of the house or runs away or something.
I think she runs away.
And she has the muzzle on. So Tramp is trying to get the muzzle off of her.
Yeah.
And I was really confused as to why they were going to the zoo. Like, I didn't see, like,
I did not get it at
like,
first either.
why-
I was like,
Right.
the zoo.
what are they doing? But long story short, they're trying to get into the zoo to help her get the muzzle off. And the Tramp literally gets this poor, unassuming gentleman who's walking out of the zoo in so much trouble with the constable
He does
security
it
man.
in the smartest way possible. He's like he. What does he do?
He
takes.
like jumps in his lap.
Yes, he pretends that he's the dog of this dude that's just walking by, and the dude's like, "This ain't my dog," and the guy's like, "This is obviously your dog," and Tramp is just like being all nice and happy and picking up his stuff
And like touching him though, like he
Yes.
turns around and he like touches his butt, and he's like, "Wah!" And they get in a fist fight, and he gets arrested. Luis thought that was fantastic.
It was funny.
It's a very funny scene, but I could only imagine myself as the man being thrown out of the zoo for having a dog. I don't know why my mind shot into his mind, but I can see myself just walking by and a dog just decides to be mine at that one particular moment, and I get in trouble for it. Not today.
You're the only person in the whole world that would not be happy about a dog pretending to be theirs.
Yeah, get out of here. I got a dog. Peace.
No, if a dog came up to me and was like, followed me everywhere, and I was like, I'm your owner now, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, see?
And then
Maybe
she'd
it's a
come
white
home and
person
I'd
thing.
have
Well,
two
no,
dogs.
because we're all about it.
Usually stray dogs don't want to get near you, you know?
Luis, how about you get near your microphone?
You know what I would tell that dog?
What?
Can you herd cattle? No. Can you hunt animals that are going to try to get at my crops? No.
They were
Can
going
you
to
do
say
any
something
type
else.
of labor? No. I don't want you. Bye.
The dog is saying no.
That was extremely specific. And that dog needs to know a lot about agriculture to be able to answer those
Got a
questions.
cold heart right now. The dog has to know.
He's talking to me.
A lot about agriculture. Okay, anyway, so they go in the
Damn.
zoo. Lady doesn't get chomped by an alligator. That's nice. But then the hyena was laughing at something, and it creeped me out, dude. I
Disney
hated
has a
that
thing with hyenas.
I like the hyena.
It's fine. They meet a beaver, and the beaver helps them.
So yeah, they tricked the beaver, which
That
was
was
also
just the
funny.
weirdest
Weird.
scene, too.
It's so weird. It
He's
looks like
"Hey."
Gopher from Winnie the Pooh. too.
Yes.
It's like confusing.
So
me.
that's the thing, is that they basically just stole that entire look and sound
Yeah.
of the
Gopher.
beaver and put it into Gopher.
Yeah.
Because Beaver was first.
Yes,
Yeah.
Beaver was first.
Well, it makes sense.
And the guy who did Gopher, or the guy who did Beaver, excuse me, he just did that with like just a whistle in front of his lips the entire
Yeah.
time. It's like a swistle.
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 I can't do it. I don't have a whistle.
Sure. It makes sense.
Shucker and shucktash.
But anyways, there's a lot of good, funny scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Like we've touched on most of them. It gets a little bit more intense. So because Lady gets out of the pound because, you know, she has her license collar still. They find her.
Thank
they
the
put her
good
out in
Lord.
the back house and Tramp just comes rolling in like it's all fine and dandy that she basically went to jail, right? And he's like, oh, it's okay.
He's like, I've been to jail a million times.
They kick him out. Meanwhile, it cracks me up that the other two dogs, the Scotty dog and the hound dog, are like offering themselves up. And the hound dog's like, I don't know about matrimony.
Okay, stop. They're walking in, and you're like,
Hilarious.
why are they making these faces? Because they're just doing their little dog walk up to her doghouse, but they got faces on. And they're like, and the Scotty dog's like, may the best man win. We'll still be
Gotta
best
fight for
friends
her
no
honor,
matter
dude.
no matter who she chooses. And that's when he's like, I don't know if I'm ready for matrimony.
Matrimony.
It's so cute.
I can't
Anyways,
even spell.
Lady basically says she's okay, and she kicks Tramp out. I was like, get it, girl.
Yeah.
She kicks him out, but then there's an evil nuisance in the backyard. A rat. And that rat knows that the baby's window is open.
Well, Aunt Sarah has put a literal chain on Lady's neck.
yeah, because Aunt Sarah's crazy.
Chained her
She's
up
a
in the
cat
backyard.
Lady, so, you know.
Yeah. I don't know why she's the one.
Why
watching
you
the
leaving the
dogs.
second story baby window open? How about that?
Oh, I guess she's watching the baby, not the dogs.
She wasn't watching a baby. She was in bed and left the window open that the baby was in. That's not safe.
True.
Rats can get in.
Yeah, or a big bird, or a burglar, any kind
Or
of
rats.
outside intruder.
So
Ooh, now I'm
you-
thinking
you
about
see, like,
rats coming in
you-
open
you see, like,
windows.
early scenes of Lady like chasing this rat, like protecting her backyard. You
Mhm.
know,
Doing a good
so
job.
the rat gets in and she's freaking out. And honestly, I was freaking out too.
Rat
and then
is
this
big.
scene was
Woo.
way too intense for me.
This is a New York
Lady
rat.
cries. Tramp gets in. She tells Tramp where to go. Tramp gets in. He's fighting the rat like hardcore, and the rat's like putting up a
It
fight.
is a battle.
And then Lady gets in, and then they accidentally knock over the baby crib, so the baby falls. And Andre and I both went, no, because that's like terrifying when you think
And
about
so
it.
did Addie.
Oh,
Oh.
and you know what's even worse is like Tramp comes out limping because he got the rat, right? He's all proud.
It's called rabies.
He's like limping. It's so
Nah, it's-
sad.
What?
The only time the rat loses.
What?
You know,
What?
Louis.
It's an inside joke between me and
'Kay,
and my nephew.
This is for the whole
Sweetie.
internet.
Sweetie.
Can't be doing inside jokes.
This is like the third inside joke this episode. You realize that when it's an inside joke and we post it for the whole
Well,
world,
it's kind of like
it's
dark humor.
confusing.
Maybe let's bring it up in the vault.
In the
I'll
crack.
Bring it up in the vault.
If you guys would like to know about the dark internet humor,
Dark internet humor.
the dark
Dun,
web,
dun,
Oh,
dun.
dark web.
Like the dark rat. So the rat was there. Then the rat wasn't.
Good job.
They killed the rat. Tramp is tripping. He's tripping.
Tramp
And then
is
he's
Sarah,
literally tripping.
and
Yes.
then Aunt Sarah comes in and is like, rascals, scoundrels, because she sees the baby on the
Riff raff.
ground, which honestly
Sadly,
they didn't need to do that. Like that was kind of freaking terrible because if
Yeah.
you think about a baby falling out of the crib, like that baby's very hurt, you know, like in my mind. I was like, this is not okay, don't do this. But
Well, I
then
mean-
it's sad because they called a pound on him and
well, I mean, if you think about it from an adult perspective, like, yeah, like there's a stray dog, like some rando
some
in your
rando
house,
dog in the house.
and
The room is a mess.
and the baby's on the floor. Like, I would most definitely call the pound too.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
there's
yeah, of
no.
course. And it is what it is. But it's good when the parents get home and Lady's going crazy, right? And Sarah's mad, and they're like, no, she's just trying to tell you something, because she really was, right? So she shows them the rat, and then they're like, oh, that's what
Luis
the-
goes, how are they supposed to know that's what she wanted? I'm like, Louis, if you have a relationship
you-
with your
you-
dog, the
yeah.
dog's gonna lead you.
I
And he's like,
definitely-
no.
Dog
Yeah,
knows.
I definitely know when my dog's trying to tell me.
Oh yeah.
I know when my dog has to poop. Like, I know when he's trying to tell me.
Oh yeah.
Me too.
So
Poop, rat. I
Pick it
know.
all up.
Yeah, right.
I know poop. I know rat.
So it's sad. So then they run because they're gonna try to go get them. So it's super sad. They put Lady in the car. They drive off. Meanwhile, the hound dog and the Scotty dog realize what happened and that they judged Tramp wrong.
So they chase after
run
everybody.
him, and then
It's a whole
the
chase
hound
scene.
dog gets hit by the car, and I was about to cry. I looked
Okay,
at Andre.
whoa.
What? That's what happened.
Well, yeah, but you just go so fast over
Yeah,
it,
you're
you just
skipping
lose
all
all,
the action.
the
That's
excitement.
how my brain works.
You lose all the excitement.
No, just fast.
He gets hit by a horse and carriage.
Yeah, dude.
So
Like,
it's not a car.
It's
like
not
a
a car.
rat.
Like, that whole carriage like fell on him,
I know.
and Luis is like, he did.
Well,
like,
that's what
there
Andre
was
said,
no
too.
doubt. Like, we thought he was dead for sure.
I wrote my notes. No. No. No.
And there's just always something about like when a dog dies in a movie compared to like a human.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I immediately was like, this movie sucks. I don't like this movie. I'm never watching this
This
movie
movie's
again.
bad.
But it was okay because apparently he just broke his leg.
So yeah, they
He's
they show his like limp body on the ground,
He
and
looks
He looked
dead.
real
Scotty
dead.
Dog is crying, and then the scene just fades out, fade back in, and it's just Lady and Tramp and all their puppies, and everybody's happy, and we've all moved on, and nobody cares about Trusty anymore.
I know, and I was really sad. And I was like, okay, so Tramp got a collar, so they must have adopted him because he saved the day. And I like that their puppies were like 3 little ladies and 1 little tramp. Because, I mean, if those dogs actually mated, their kids wouldn't look exactly like that. But, you know, it was cute. But it's okay because they had visitors, and then Trusty came in, and he's like Uncle Trusty, telling the stories with his little limp leg.
And it was a whole redemption for Trusty because, like, while they were chasing the truck, he was sniffing through water, and then he found which way the truck actually went.
Even though his little sniffer was broken.
Yeah.
Apparently it worked.
He lost it in the war. How did he lose it?
I don't know. I hope he
How
didn't
did he
lose it in the war.
I mean, I don't know how he lost it.
Sounds like a thing that would happen to a hound dog.
I know. Like, how
Lost
was
my smell in the
His
war.
nose is still there. I don't know how he lost his sense of smell.
But you know,
in the war.
overall, it's just a really cute movie.
I
So-
very much enjoyed it. I would watch it
So
again.
let's touch on these Siamese kitties.
You mean the Siamese
I
devils?
remember the song like "We are Siamese if you please," but that's the only part I remember. We are Siamese if you don't please. Didn't remember the rest of the lyrics.
Right.
First of all, creepy cats. Second of all, ripping curtains. Third of all, trying to eat a fish, trying to eat a bird. They said they were going to rip the thing off and kill that fish and eat it. Maybe a fin for you, a fin for me. Not okay, cats. So I'm not a cat person, but man,
Not okay, cat.
I didn't like it, and they were very creepy.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, it's a
The way that they were acting and the way that they didn't. Oh, I didn't like it.
they're a creepy villain. Yeah, and
I like how they are a villain.
they are one creepy villain.
And the twin thing creeps it out more too.
They're
you know,
Siamese,
because there's
if
two
you
of them
please.
doing the same thing, and
Yeah. So this movie came out
The Siamese cat song.
right after World War II. I mean, not right after, but after.
I told you he lost his nose in the war.
yeah, I lost
Duh.
his nose in the
This
war.
is old dog.
Well, not his nose. He lost his smell. His whole nose.
Poor dog he went to war. He got hit by a truck. It was just sad. So this movie took place after World War II, and in World War II, the Japanese were the enemies of the U.S. And I think that is where this
Siamese.
evil Siamese sneaky cats that get you in trouble for something you ain't even do logic
Yeah.
came from.
Really awful, actually.
Which-
Yeah.
Which I think of as just like a cat thing. Like cats are sneaky, yes, but then they made them Siamese cats and had to throw that in there. Like if it was just a regular cat being sneaky,
And
being
then the
mean,
accents as
sure,
well.
yeah, the accents. I was like, okay.
And the fact that these two cats were played by Miss Peggy Lee, who was like a singer and songwriter, and she wrote some songs on this movie. And she's also the one who sang "He is a Tramp." Dun, dun,
Oh.
dun. Yeah, so she did.
Trixie Trampy.
Yeah, she's Trixie and Trampy, and and Darling, I think that was her name. But she's the one who did all that, and she wrote this song "We Are Siamese," if you please, and performed it.
Well, those cats are
She not
creepy.
Asian.
Creepy cats.
She is not Asian.
She not Asian.
I mean, I feel like they do that with like animal movies a lot of the time, where like the dogs are a different race, or like the dog is the race of
Yeah.
the breed
and
of
they
the
did
dog.
it. They did it
type
a
of
bunch
thing,
in this movie,
you know?
and in the documentary they explain it, saying like it's not about like any particular race. It's all about just like having fun with some fun, silly voices, and it's like okay, I can understand that from an outside perspective. It is fun to do voices.
Yeah, and I like what they did it with the Chihuahua and, the other
and the
dog,
Italians and
you
the
know,
Russian, exactly all
so
that.
I
But
get
the only
that's-
ones that were the villains, the super sneaky evil
Yeah.
villains, were the Asians.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alas.
Siamese cats are actually really, really cute in real life too, and they made them look so creepy.
You know what's really
Like,
funny is that
Siamese
I don't
cats are
know
pretty.
if I've ever seen a picture of a Siamese cat. So if you could pull
Let's
that up, that'd be
pull it up.
fantastic.
You've never seen a Siamese?
I don't think so because every time I ever
always
think
thought
of
they were
one, I
kind
think
like
of
an
this damn
Egyptian
movie.
cat.
Let's
They're
see.
cute.
Is that is not cute? That is god awful. No.
Let me see.
Okay. Well,
Look at his face. If you Google Siamese cat
They're
and just
cute,
look at them,
Emily.
this is what Emily's
This?
reacting to.
Yeah, they're Siamese cats.
well, that's cute, but these other ones Andre's pulling up make me wanna.
Yeah.
It's just
that's a
this
figurine.
coloring
It's
where
not a
they're
real
like
cat.
the Siamese cat is
That's
like
an
the
awful
tan
figurine.
cats that have like the darker
That's cute though.
fur.
That's
Darker
Yeah,
face
that's a Siamese
features.
cat.
Well-
They're cute.
What?
Andre, babe, why are you showing her weird cat?
I'm showing her Google images.
This is a Siamese cat.
Siamese cat.
This is a cat. They're cute.
The Siamese cat is one of the first distinctly recognized breeds of Asian cat.
Oh, it is an Asian cat
So
then.
there
There you
you
go.
go.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they were playing with like the breed of the cat.
Well, yes.
I agree with you though. I always thought Egyptian for some reason.
Yeah, I always thought Egyptian too.
Yeah, it's kind of
Well.
far away.
Kind of far away.
But Egypt got cats. They had cats too.
They had cats
They
too.
had cats, like skinny cats.
They
I
have
was
the-
confused if you
they
were
have
saying
the
like far
naked-
away from each other or far away from here. I'm like, yes, it is far away.
Aren't the hairless cats Egyptian?
Oh
The
yeah.
hairless one is the Egyptian cat.
Oh yeah. That's.
Right?
But they do look similar. Like their body type is
Right.
like they have that
The
long
Sphinx
thing.
cat. That's the Egyptian one.
C.
The Sphinx.
Now that one is, yeah. Remember when I used to say I wanted one?
Oh,
oh
okay. Sphinx cat is definitely worse. Than
God.
Siamese cat.
God, get it off the screen. It's freaking me out.
It's cute.
No, it's not.
I got no fur upon my skin. It's just skin. Look at my skin.
We've
Yeah.
got very different ideas of what is cute, and I'm gonna keep my eyes closed for the rest of
See,
this
it's my
podcast.
skin. Look at my
I
skin.
changed the tab.
Look, Emily, this one's cute.
Oh,
No, it's not. I told you I'm gonna keep my eyes closed. Like,
I'm sorry
squinting.
if we're offending any of our listeners who are cat people. I'm very sorry.
I'm very sorry that you're a cat.
we haven't
people.
said anything bad about
Whoa.
all cats. We just said things bad about these cats.
These cats are scary.
I got no skin. Oh wait.
Hey,
please.
Emily, look at this one. This is,
I've got no skin on me.
look at this one.
Okay, first off, I hate you. Second off, we're done
Okay,
with the cat.
that's enough with the googling cats. We've gone too
They kind of
far.
look like Dobby.
Oh.
Who I also equally cannot stand the look
Oh
of.
no, it's a rave cat.
Dobby has no fur.
Okay, moving on. What kind of money did this movie make?
This was one of the
Oh,
most
jeez.
profitable movies Disney had in a little while. In its initial release, the film took.
Michelle, tell your wife
What
to
is
quit
happening?
with the cats.
Stop googling. All right,
I'm done with her.
Michelle did find a pretty good one, but stop it. Stop.
I hate
Lock
you
your
so
phone,
much.
you
I hate
crazy.
you.
Okay.
You're lucky I love you because I hate you.
In
Ugh.
its initial release, the film took in a higher figure than any other Disney animated feature since Snow White.
At the time, right? So how many movies were there?
Yeah, I
between,
was
like,
gonna
Snow
ask.
White and this.
What number is this?
It was like Snow White, Pinocchio, Bambi,
Fantasia,
and then maybe
Dumbo,
this.
um,
Cinderella was 52, maybe.
Saludos Amigos.
Saludos.
What did I say?
No, I was just repeating what you
Oh
said.
yeah, Cinderella.
Dorella.
Song of the South.
Oh, jeez. Our favorite.
Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Peter Pan.
Okay, so
Okay,
this
okay.
one was like,
Yeah. This is
then.
fairly down there. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So yeah, so this is the one that had made the most money since Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. and
Wow.
it made let's see, 6.5 million in domestic box office rentals,
hey,
which is not too shabby on a budget of 4 million. And
Yeah.
over its lifetime, I believe it has made like $93 million in the box office, and that's after like re-releases and stuff like that. Fun money
So
stuff.
pretty well.
Yeah, it did well, and it was received quite well as well.
And I mean, I can see it being received quite well. Like, it's a very cute dog movie.
did you say 55?
1955.
Okay, yeah. So how many years is that now? 60.
Let's all do math. We're gonna do some
3?
math in our heads.
Something like that. 63.
Yeah, 63.
God, for being educated adults, I feel like that took way too long. It's also late at
Right.
night, everyone.
2000 minus 1955.
Oh God. But point being is that it totally held up over time. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't anything that I thought like, oh, like
Right.
like I really enjoyed the animation. Like I actually enjoyed the animation on this more than on some of the more recent ones that we've seen from the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like
I
Yeah.
believe that this movie had a similar animation team to Sleeping Beauty.
yeah.
And I remember us gushing about that one.
Well, because I think I actually really enjoy when it has like that watercolory background look with the animation over the top, because it doesn't take away from the what is being animated. Like you have a
Right.
pretty background that is really interesting,
Yeah.
but it's not like, excuse my French, crappily animated. Because
Yeah.
sometimes we see stuff where like the background is animated and you're like, wow, that was really funky.
Yeah.
But then the foreground is done well, and then it just is a bad contrast. So I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, animation was good. It was tight. The performances were good as well. I liked the
I like the voice actors.
like
They
the
were
voice
good.
I just didn't like that song that lady was singing like in her head about the baby.
Yeah.
They could have cut that.
Creepy baby, why do they love you?
Why don't they love me like they love
And
you,
there was
baby?
like a lot of scenes, like all of those
I wish they'd
scenes-
birthed me
I don't,
instead of
okay,
you.
This is my qualm then.
Dog birth.
I don't like those scenes where like there's stuff happening before that. Like for example, lady's bringing the leash to her mom. Her mom is saying, no, not now. She brings the ball, and her mom's like, no, stop that. And then lady looks at the camera. So there was a lot of those scenes where it's like, duh.
So
And then-
you
'cause
don't
she's
like
upset, right?
musicals? Is that what you just said to
No.
me?
Because you're trying to say she's breaking the fourth wall.
Yes, but
She's
she like
pissed
looks
off.
at the camera, and they did it with all those scenes before that, like where the dad's like, no,
It
stop
was like the
stop it."
calendar was moving.
And then she like
Yeah.
looks at the wall like, duh. And I didn't like that.
I wish you guys could see Michelle's face when she does it. It's like it's like one of those like I Dream a Genie TV shows where it like zooms in around their face
very
and it's
fast,
Like
and there's dreamy music playing,
Yes.
and her eyes are open so big.
so funny.
But yeah, music was good. The score was good.
Yes, agreed.
That's what I was trying to say. Some of the songs were not my faves, but Bella
But everyone
Notte
knows Bella Notte.
absolutely
obviously.
is my fave. This is the night.
Yeah, you can sing it super fun.
It's a beautiful night.
Well, I think that's a good thing is you can either sing it normally
Eat spaghetti.
or you could sing it like a crazy Italian. And it's fantastic either way.
Yes, it's fun.
Get your accents on.
Yes, exactly. They have a bunch of chances for you to do accents in this movie.
So what's your rating? What do you rate?
Well, let's see what the people.
Oh, are there
rated it.
more? Oh, yeah, I forget that we have to people
on,
rate it.
on the tomato meter.
So might have been.
On the tomato meter.
Tomato
The tomato meter. It ranks at 93%.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty fresh.
It has that's a fresh tomato on spaghetti.
That's like a California fresh tomato.
Oh, California fresh.
You know what I mean? Because like if you go to other states, not as fresh.
Mm.
We have better fresh produce. I'm
We
sorry,
got
people.
better produce every other state
It's true.
Right.
and Canada.
And Canada.
It had an audience score of 80%. So people liked it. I liked it.
I
I
liked
think
it.
I'm going to give this movie an 8. Yeah, an 8. I liked it a lot. It was very funny in some parts. Had a good, solid story, like a lot more story to it than I was expecting.
Agreed.
Because, like, as we said, I was expecting it to be just love story romance between Lady and Tramp, but there was a lot more than that. There was baby jealousy. There was rats. There was a dog getting hit by a car. It was a lot of stuff going on in
Yeah,
this
my
movie.
emotions couldn't take it.
Yes. So I'm giving an 8. Solid. We'll watch again.
Good. Okay. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It's a really good movie. I think I would give it an 8 or a little bit higher if it had better music.
Yeah.
Because it only kind of hits with that one song, you know? And I just kind of wanted more of the music a little bit. Like I said, there was some weird stuff going on with the child jealousy that I didn't really like that much of the storyline. So yeah, 7.5, it's good. Also, I know everybody's always like has lady stuff everywhere, like lady stuffed animals and stuff. But I really like Tramp. He's
Yeah.
so cute, and he's a high contender up there on the Disney dog list for me now.
Oh, see, I'm all about Scotty. I don't know what his name is, but Scotty.
Jock.
Oh yeah, Jock.
But Tramp is a
Jock
cute
with a-
Disney dog, and
with
I
a
would,
hard J.
I would
Yeah.
adopt him in a second. He's really cute.
Hmm.
Luis, Lady and the Tramp rating.
Give it an 8.
Hey.
Kind of like the Tramp. He was very.
Luisi.
Apart from his misogynistic views in life, I really thought that he was. He lived a simple life. He enjoyed his life.
Down by the train
Him
tracks.
and O'Malley the Alley Cat would probably get along
That's what I
really
was
well.
Him
saying.
and O'Malley would get along.
I
Yes.
thought he was very, optimistic.
Womanizers.
Except for when it came to humans.
O'Malley the Trampy.
Alexander Lacey. Do you reciprocate?
That's Emily's favorite
Them two
cat.
and the Fox from Zootopia would all make
Nick.
fantastic boy band together.
OMG. We got Tramp. We got O'Malley on the vocals. Tramp on the drums. And we got
Tramp
Nick,
on the drums.
Nick Wild on the tar.
On the tar.
The guitar.
Like the sitar.
Oh, if anybody draws fan art, please.
Oh, Jesus. I'm dying.
Please. I love that so
On
much.
the sitar.
That's so good.
Sitar. Anyway.
Emily rating.
I'm going to give it an 8 too. I really enjoyed it. I will watch this again. Good thing too, because we bought it.
Nice.
We also have Lady and the Tramp too, so I foresee myself
Oh.
watching
There's
that in the
another
next
one?
couple weeks. Yes, and I'm
There's
sure
more.
it's going to be bad.
It's
okay.
probably the greatest
Don't worry
Lady and
about
the
it. Our
Tramp.
next movie that we're doing, which we'll get to, Andre only had movie 2 and movie 3.
Are you
Oh
about
my
to?
goodness.
Ew!
What
you
just
sneezed
happened?
into that nubbin so hard.
Holy moly.
I am so glad that we all have our own nubbin.
Yeah.
Cut that part out.
No.
Nah.
Anyways, the next movie that we're doing, Andre only had movie 2 and movie 3, but not movie 1.
So yeah,
Hold on, what movie has a 2 and a 3?
we are going to be watching the
Cinderella,
1949 animated movie,
Cinderella.
or
It has a
1950.
second
2 and
Cinderella.
and a 3
It has
So,
a 2 and 3.
Cinderella does have a 2 and a 3,
and a live action.
and yes,
And a live
live
action
action,
and a Brandy.
and a Rogers and Hammerstein.
And a Brandy.
But
Which was aired on ABC, by the way, so I still think we can do that for the podcast.
I wish we were watching the Brandy version, but go ahead.
Maybe we'll do it on
Man.
crack.
should we do like a Cinderella megasode and just watch
all 3?
all of the Cinderellas?
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
shouldn't.
All right, cool.
I just
a
put the
thought.
kibosh on that.
Well, Andre and I decided we're going to watch all 3 of them anyways.
You mean all the...
We're going to watch Cinderella. We're going to watch Rogers and Hammerstein Cinderella with Brandy. And then Andre wants to watch the live action. 'cause
Okay,
he's never seen it.
you just said that there is a Cinderella 1, 2, and 3.
No,
Oh,
that's
right.
not
And-
what we meant.
Oh.
No, we meant
like,
the.
we're probably going to watch the regular and the live
Well,
action.
we're gonna, we
Oh.
watched 3 Cinderella ones, not Cinderella 1, 2, and 3.
I was confused because I'm
So
like,
he was
that's
saying
5
we
movies.
could do this next episode like how we did Beauty and the Beast, where we did live action and regs.
We don't have to. It's a lot.
No, that's fine.
We'll see.
But
I don't remember the live action.
the one that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah, the
I've never seen
2015
that.
one. Yeah, I've never seen it either.
But the Brandy one is the best.
Brandy
Right.
one is
Exactly.
It's better than
So,
all
we
of
could
them.
watch 2 inferior Cinderellas and then talk about Brandy the entire episode.
Please.
But we'll see. We'll see. Next time,
Shoot a biz.
get some Cinderella in your life.
my own little corner.
Oh,
in
no.
my own little
Oh, we about to
chair.
watch it right
I
now.
can be whoever I want to be.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
All right. You guys, thanks for tuning in.
I love that
this
movie,
time.
We'll
Next
see.
time we're
Yeah,
going to do
Cinderella.
Cinderella. In the meantime, you can hang out with us on social media. We are at the Walt Vault Pod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
What about the Cinderella story with Hilary Duff?
Mm,
But it had the cute blonde guy that I liked.
I do
What?
not recall.
Matthew McConaughey?
No,
What?
not
Matthew McConaughey dated Hilary Duff in a movie? Are you nuts?
a nondescript white man with blonde hair.
Channing Tatum?
No, this is way before they.
Yeah, this is like
And he's old.
04.
There's a lot of Cinderella adaptations.
Yeah. I don't know who. A Cinderella Story with starring Hilary Duff has an 11% on Rotten
See, I told you.
Tomatoes.
But what's that guy's name?
His name is Chad Michael Murray.
Chad Michael.
You might remember him
Murray.
from
Yes.
One
Sexy.
Tree Hill.
I didn't watch
I
that.
didn't watch that, but he was.
He was
on it.
also in Freaky Friday.
That's what he was
Freaky
in.
Friday. Yeah,
There
that's
you
a
go.
good movie. We should do that one.
We should probably do that one at some point.
Because it has my favorite old lady haircut. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right,
Jamie
Jamie
Lee
Lee
Curtis.
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis does have a good.
I can't
I was
wait.
thinking of someone much older for some reason.
I can't wait to be like in my midlife
Dame
to have
Judi
her hair.
Dench.
Who also has
Jane
sick ass hair.
Yes.
So the point is, there's a lot of versions out there, but we're gonna go with the 1950 something animated
1950.
Walt Disney
Yes,
version. that we will
that'll be the
discuss.
main focus.
And
Which is
Brandy.
also
And
a
we
very
might mention Brandy a bunch of times.
Yeah, we might. It's
Who
okay.
knows?
But that animated version of Cinderella is also bomb.com, so
Yes.
it's gonna be a great episode.
Correct.
I'm just gonna throw it out there that I probably am gonna say that I hadn't watched the whole thing because I don't remember anything about
Oh,
it.
I watched
Yeah, I've definitely
as
seen
we
that movie.
recall on this show, my mom thought I liked Cinderella growing up, so I had a bunch of Cinderella stuff and watched Cinderella a whole bunch of times. It's all about Gus Gus. Boom.
I too like Gus Gus.
The fat
Gus
one.
Gus?
Yeah, the fat one.
Yeah.
Fat mouse, not a rat. They're mouses.
They're mice. Mouses.
Did I call him a rat?
No,
Oh.
she
I was
said
just iterating.
yes.
Oh, since we talked about nasty rats on this episode.
Nice.
Rats.
Nice.
Okay.
Nasty rats.
Join us next time for some Cinderella goodness. In the meantime, leave a comment down below. Send a message. Send a DM. Do whatever you got to do. Let us know what you thought of Lady and the Tramp, and or what you like. Which Cinderella you like the best? Do you like 1950? Do you like 2015? Do you like 1997 featuring Brandy
You like
and Whoopi Goldberg
1854?
and Whitney Houston? What? Okay.
2051. There's a lot.
Oh, there'll definitely be a Cinderella in 2051.
For sure.
When a new star is born.
Yes. The 18th A Star is Born and the 25th Cinderella will come out in the same year. You guys, that's been it for us this week
We're
on
just
The
so
Walt
punny
Vault.
today.
Send me an email to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com. I like that. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/The Walt Vault. Check that out. You can subscribe to us on Spotify now. We're on there, but we're also on iTunes and YouTube and Stitcher and Google Play, all of the places.
Shout out
hey.
to our Spotify hits we've gotten who are like all from Canada.
Yeah, what up,
We've
Canada?
got like 8 or 9 followers from Canada.
I
on
mentioned you in
Spotify.
this episode, not
We
in a
did.
good light. I'm sorry. Hello,
I know.
Canada.
We
Hey,
we
they got
made
free
fun of you. I'm
healthcare.
sorry.
Free
Yeah.
healthcare Canada.
We made fun of your produce. That was
I'm
rude of us.
Sorry, Canada.
I don't even know if you have bad produce.
I know y'all appreciate apologies. I'm so sorry.
But I know that the East Coasters have inferior produce. Sorry.
True.
You have
We
better
got
oranges, though.
We got off at
Back to us. California's the best. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time. The vault is now closed.